So, it's time to continue. For once, I have checked a bit the guide before we continue, and I think there is like a game over kind of ending before we can go to the bad and good endings, like something in between. For what I have seen, I think, I'm not sure, I don't remember that part whatsoever, but if we reach that today, it will be something less to do, I guess. Don't jump scare me. I just started the stream. What do you mean? Anyways, hopefully we won't reach the worst part of the route today, because I am not ready. Let me pause the music, let me put this up, and let's go. Your voices. Sorry, I have to speak. Very strong colors. Very nice to see. Is it ascending or just text? I think it's just text. I think it's just like a game over kind of a screen. Please don't speak that is. Thank you very much, I guess. I'm sorry, my voice is so bad. Where was Towa? When I awoke, I found myself sitting in an alley, prop and against the wall. What a nice start. I started to look around, but a dull ache in my skull made me grimace. What was I doing here? That is what I want to know. I forgot to watch End from Bernstein. You didn't do your homework. Very bad, disappointed. What happened yesterday? After Ray patched me up, I went out to a random bar and dragged myself into a stupor by closing time. I couldn't remember what happened after I left the bar. Must have passed out in the alley. Nice. I fished around in my pocket and pulled out my cell phone. No messages from Fujieda. Exciting, I pressed a hand to the grimy wall and I slowly heaved myself up. It's supposed to be OTL, if you want to write it fully. Free exploration. On December 29th. Okay, so here. Move. Murases Clinic. Anyways. I'm not going inside. I don't want to be around Taco right now. I guess that was necessary. Yonagawa Cafe. Wanna drink something? Sorry for the wait. Here's your coffee.
No.
Why? She didn't got full voice lines? That's weird. Oh yeah, because it's exploration part. Okay. I will bring you a new one right away.
Ara.
Oh hey Towa, I knew it was you. By the way, if you hear thunders or anything, don't worry about it. There is a storm right now. Hopefully the lights won't go off. I was sitting over there, but I thought I recognized your voice. Dog. Wait, what's going on? Are you hurt? A little. Oh my god, you need to be more careful. Just because you have a lot of scars, it doesn't mean you can be reckless with your body. What does it matter? Are you kidding me? We are worried about you. But he doesn't care. So how did you get hurt? Negative.
Negative.
I fell. Is that true? Because it sounds... I forget they talk like this every now and then. Maybe you don't care, but your life has value to a lot of people. Don't you get that? You need to take better care of yourself. Now you sound like Ray. Oh yeah, well that suits me fine. I will be your Ray 2.0 if you want. I will pass. What happened to your face? Not to be rude. Well, I gotta go now. Enjoy your coffee. Thanks. The trio of the Roast Bar, one of the best, like, the best character group in here. Looks like a nightmare. It looks comfy. It looks warm. Hagoita Street. Latex and fur. Oh, the fur looks nice though. The fur is the part that looks comfy. Hey Garasi. Wait, are you hurt? Feels like you have been getting hung up a lot lately. It's a long story. Look, Towa, and you probably shouldn't add to the scars you already got. It hurts to look at you. Yeah. Kind of. Oh, that reminds me. Could I talk to you about something that has been bothering me? Sure. Thank you. So basically, it's looking like my friend's gotten involved with this weird religious group. Oh no. Told me he has been leaving Hunt to enjoy their facility. I'm not sure what to do. Positive? You should probably try to stop him. I know, right? He keeps claiming these religions gave him hope and offer him salvation, but can't you really call that salvation? Always undone? Yep. It varies from person to person. Some sincerely believe in it. Alright, I guess it's complicated. I'm gonna try to talk him out of it one last time. And thanks for hearing me out. Anyway, see you. See you. The sprites don't change, aside from like the face. Takanokuchi Hospital. Ray? Oh no. Oh, it's you. We don't see them often, like outside of the clinic. What are you doing here? You hurt yourself again? You didn't come here to get a look at, did you?
Yeah.
No, I was just passing by. What are you doing here? I'm scouting, you could say. Scouting? To go to other hospital and gather information on them. After all, they might have more efficient workflow that we can learn from. Wait. You're really serious about your job, huh? Oh, shut up. Thomas-san, were you fighting with Dr. Murase again? And here... Positive. Maybe. Aha, so you were. I won't tell you not to fight with him, but please don't sabotage his motivation to work. He's a good, honest man, and sometimes these things affect his performance. There, I finally said it. I have been meaning to say that to you for a long time now. Are you in love with? Did you forget at the beginning of the game, you mentioned that it looks more like he has a crush on Ray? Don't be ridiculous. I have a deep respect for him as a doctor, unlike you. I have actually got my life together, thanks. Damn, okay. Yes. Anyway, I will be leaving now. Goodbye. What here? Is the green-haired dude? Yep. Hi there, Inada. It's you. Yeah. The Takasatogumi's internal conflict is now in full swing. Now that Sagaki's functionality, the new leaders, the other functions are on edge. Hold on, let me... so I can hear a bit better. The way things stand, a war could break out. Hard to predict what will happen. Every year, tons of people go missing in Shinkomi, and yet almost none of them have been found. Rumor says that they get sold off to the mainland or other countries. Crazy, isn't it? Conversely, I hear some people are shipped here from the mainland. Nothing's on finding them after that. Originally, Shinkomi was a profitable casino resort. Then it was designated as a special administrative region of Japan. Yeah, we know. The mainland's economy went to shit, so tons of people went to Shinkomi in search of work, resulting in the high-rise buildings you see everywhere. We know. But the rapid expansions led to a ton of nasty rumors. Apparently, things were even worse back then. Instead, it was all behind the scenes. To the mainland, Shinkomi is an eyesore. They just bided their time and waiting for the chance to jump in. With the leader dead and everyone in panic, this is the perfect moment to strike, and yet the mainland isn't taking action. I still think this is a rare opportunity. Is something holding them back? Shinkomi's adult entertainment industry. Almost all of it is controlled by the Takasatokumi. These days, the most well-known is the red light district on Kowa Street, but in the past there used to be a lot of popular spots in District A, or so I'm told. And supposedly a lot of prominent figures from the mainland and overseas used to visit them. I hear things were more prosperous back then. Okay, hold on. Okay. Can't think of it. The other day, a man in a suite asked me about you. Even to him, even to this character that is just there giving information, Fuyeda is talking to him. What did he ask? I got scared and ran. Okay, something character. So I didn't tell him anything. Inada is like a reminder of stuff going on, and Eiji is a source of new information. Yeah, pretty much. Also, I like the idea of him like with the pat emote. That would be very cute. And this let me just check all of the places just in case, because I don't trust this game. After what happened in the last stream, in which I needed to visit everywhere, basically, just to trigger one small event. He's having his fun. Okay, now I can go. Yes. Exploration over. Another random bar. I had no intention of going back to the clinic. Instead, I walked into a random building and checked my phone. I had some notice from Taku and Rei, but not from Fujieda. My only option was to keep waiting. Is he going to wake up in the middle of a street again? Three days later. To avoid having to see Taku, I spent as little time at the clinic as humanly possible. I wouldn't come home until after Taku had left for the day. The rest of the time, I was either getting drunk at a random bar or sleeping in the streets, sometimes in the park. Viviendo la vida del vagabundo. This was what my life was like before I moved in at the clinic. Wow. So it didn't really bother me. No wonders Taku offered him the room at the top of the clinic. More importantly, I was waiting for Fujita to get back to me, but I still hadn't gotten any notice from him. Little stray cat, yeah. Oh, hi there, Yempi. I sat Nestle in the concrete tunnel from last time, drinking a little bottle of booze. Evidently, my negotiations with Fuyeda hadn't worked out. But to be fair, I was totally talking out of my ass at the time, and he was by no means obligated to respond to my one-sided offer. Still, I couldn't help but feel like I screwed up. What did I hope to get out of an information exchange with Fuyeda? I leaned my hand back against the car concrete and closed my eye. The booze had gone to my head, and a hint of drowsiness set in my eyelid. Did he got drunk? In a park. In the middle of the day. In front of kids. Based? No. Slowly, my consciousness sank into the darkness. When I next opened my eye, I sensed a presence next to me. Someone was peeking into the tunnel. Fuyeda. Why do they keep peeking? Go to the local park to find the stray cat that is Towa, I guess. Startled, I sat upright. In an instant, I was wide awake. Kind of, yeah. He frowned his brown quizzically. That's a word. As he spoke, he reached out to me. Was he trying to help me out? To help me up? Reflexively, I smacked his hand away. He let out an exasperated sigh. He and I had met once before. I thought back to that night as I looked at him. Why would he stop to help me? Was he more of a meddler than he looked at first glance, or did he need something from me? There had to be some reason he didn't simply turn a blind eye and keep on walking. Either way, I was hoping to talk to him, so this suited me just fine. I crawled out of the tunnel and turned to face him. With no explanation whatsoever, he turned on his heel and started walking. Where was he taking me? His unmoving smoke was completely unreadable. I couldn't tell what he was thinking. Running after him, I reluctantly followed after him. You can take the stray cats from the park for free. Take your local Towa to your home. Take care of him. Make sure he doesn't get drunk. As it turned out, Fuyeda brought me to the clinic. Careful to ensure we wouldn't be seen, I brought him through the side entrance, then took the elevator to the third floor. Inside my apartment, I pulled off my coat. Just then, Fuyeda thrust his hand out of it. Wait. Sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Resting on his palm was the pocket watch. Wordlessly, I took the watch. He started talking without waiting for me to react. Don't break the wine. Why don't you want to have a stray cat like Towa? Why wouldn't you? Anyways. Oh? As he spoke, he observed my reaction. Sakuragi Yuma. He hinted that name adding a small weight to my chest, but nothing more.
ついでと言ってはなんだが、君のことも調べさせてもらった。君は戸籍の登録がない。これは相続手続きの処理をしている時に分かったことだ。まあ新興味出身の人間にはよくあることだが、そのトワという名前は本名じゃないんだろう。戸籍がないなら本名もない。君の本名に当たる名前は何だ？昔は何と呼ばれていたんだ？
覚えてない。
What a surprise.
覚えてない？本当に？
あ
あ、さすがにそれはないだろ
う。嘘じゃない。
More accurately, the memory kept erasing itself. It was buried in there somewhere, but every time I actively tried to remember, I could forget again. Even if someone else literally told me what it was, I would forget. Proof of how much I subconsciously hated my name, I guess. Fuyeda fixed me with a probing look, then continued.
戸籍がないなら住所もない。君は先代組長の息子だそうだが、組長の身辺を調べている時に君の情報は一切出てこなかった。前は息子と共に事故に遭い、新興味総合病院に入院。その後死亡。息子は退院したと。ここまではいい。問題は妹に関する情報がどこにもないということだ。
He narrowed his eyes sharply.
君には妹がいた。それは間違いないんだな。
ああ。
君が先代組長の息子だという話は高里組の複数の関係者から出てきた。公的な記録がなくとも証言されたと言っていいだろう。だが君の妹の話は全く出なかった。つまり妹という存在を認識しているのは君だけということだ。
何が言いたい？
それはこちらが聞きたい。君の妹は本当に存在しているのか？
What if all of it was a fever dream? An hallucination? How to say that word? Anyway. I could only vaguely remember my sister, but she definitely existed. She couldn't possibly be a mere figment of my imagination.
妹がいたことを証明できるものは何かあるのか？
箱にぬいぐるみが入ってただろ。
あれは
Fuyeda frowned.
知人の妹のものだ。
Wait, what? Hold on, just a segundo. Wait, what? I looked back at him darkly.
持って行ったのはお前か？
あれは君のものじゃない。名前が書いてあっただろう。
名前？
I gave him a funny look. I examined that body several times and never saw any name on it.
名前なんて書いてなかった。
いや、あった。
Was this man delusional? Or just stubbornly mistaken? We stared at each other down. Stare contest. They are so funny. Eventually, Fuyeda conceded.
うすうす感じているとは思うが、これから調査が進むにつれて、君も知らないような様々な真実が明るみに出ることになるだろう。これまでの認識が崩れるような辛い現実を突きつけられるかもしれない。それは分かっているな。
そっちこそ。
If anyone was about to have a rude awakening, it was this guy, not me. I don't know why my voice is so harsh. Hold on, let me drink water. This morning it was fine. Why? Besides, it was too late for me to back down. No matter what. He nodded slightly.
君の妹に関しては村瀬先生にも電話で聞いたんだが、はぐらかされたんだ。そこで攻め方を変えることにした。
Touching grass is indeed unhealthy.
マヤと同時期にユーフォリアで働いていた女性スタッフの一人の足取りをつかんだ。君と関わりのある店、柳川コーヒー店だ。あまりにも近くて驚いただろう。今から話を聞きに行くんだが、君も来るか？
ああ、連絡もよこさずに何をしてるのかと思ったら、しっかり働いてたってことか。
情報には情報で返す。これで貸し借りはなしだ。
Apparently, he had no intention of telling me his true objective. I shrugged and rolled my eye.
弁護士先生らしいな。その権限を振りかざして調べたのか。
方法などどうでもいいだろう。
Just then, his phone began to ring.
はい。
He pulled it out and raised it to his ear. But he didn't say another word after that. He merely listened. Then, after a moment, the call ended.
無言電話だ。おそらく高里組だろう。
高里組？あんた、高里組の弁護士なんだろ。
I don't think they would be very happy about someone, like, sniffing around their businesses. He smirked faintly.
解雇された。今は嫌がらせを受けて監視される身だ。
F. At this, I straightened up. I remember a time his hair and clothes were all messy. Maybe he had just finished having it out with someone in the Takasato Gumi.
そりゃ余計なことしたな。
余計なこと？
俺のせいだろ。
I shouldn't have said anything to Sakaki.
気にする必要はない。遅かれ早かれこうなっていた。
He spoke in an emotionless voice, then looked at me.
正直、私はまだ君を完全には信用していない。だが、君が持ちかけてきた情報の共有に関しては、一考する価値があると思っている。君が忘れている記憶を思い出してもらった方が、近道になるのは確かだ。だから、それまでは協力するということでいいな。
ああ。
In the end, I had gotten my wish. I exhaled.
俺の連絡先は言っとくけど、クリニックに電話しても無駄だから。
無駄？
うちの先生がいろいろと警戒してるんだよ。
Fuyeda nodded in understanding.
そうか。君の電話番号は秘書から聞いているし、メールアドレスも写真を送ってきた時に把握している。
Then why did you keep calling the clinic?
が、一応交換をしておこう。
He pulled his phone back out. Likewise, I grabbed my phone and we traded info, including our messengers' IDs.
それでは、出かける準備をしてくれ。私は外で待っている。
With that declaration, he left the room. As new question swirled in my head, I rose from the sofa. Then I put on a face mask and pulled my hood low over my eyes. Someone who used to know Maya might recognize me on sight, so I wanted to conceal my face. You have been going to the cafe on daily basis. You just went there earlier. My dog. Once I was ready, I left the apartment. Thomas number. About time. Together, Fuyeda and I headed to Yonagawa's cafe. When we walked in, a waitress approached it.
いらっしゃいませ。何名様ですか？
すみません。こちらに長谷川妙子さんがいらっしゃると伺ったのですが。
長谷川さんですか？少々お待ちください。
Confused, the waitress walked off into the kitchen. After a moment, a different waitress came walking over.
私が長谷川ですが。
It was her all along. She tilted her head anxiously. The woman looked to be in her mid-30s, with large, round eyes like a doll. I recognized her as the waitress who had served me a handful of times. Fuyeda withdrew his business card case and offered her one from inside.
はじめまして。弁護士の藤枝と申します。
Holding the business card, Hasegawa looked back in surprise.
弁護士さん？
お仕事中にすみません。少々お聞きしたいことがありまして。マヤさんについてお話をお伺いできればと。
Her face. She's not very happy. Instantly, her expression shifted. Her eyes widened, and the blood drained from her face as he shook her head.
それは。
もちろん、報酬はお支払いします。
She pursed her lips tightly, holding something back. She was desperate for
お
money.
店の裏口へ回ってもらえますか？すぐに行けます。
Fuyeda looked back at me and glanced pointedly at the door. I turned on my heel and led him out of the cafe. We walked around to the back alley. Fuyeda stood at the door, and I sat against the wall a short distance away. He said we would be overwhelmed. We could overwhelm her if we both talked to her at once, so I agreed to step back and listen. Test, let's see. Nope, none of them work. I can read you, it won't just appear, I guess. A strong wet smell filled the narrow alley. I looked up and spotted thick clouds overhead, threatening to rain on us. After a while, Hasegawa came out through the back door.
お待たせしました。
She hung her head like a child preparing for a lecture.
それで何を聞きたいんですか？
先ほど言った通り、マヤさんについてです。あなたが昔、マヤさんと同じ店で働いていたと伺ったので。
本当にただそれだけです。私は何も知りません。
マヤさんはシエロを辞めた後、新たに店を始められたそうですね。ユーフォリアという名前の。
本当に何も知らないんです。話すことなんてありません。
Out of nowhere, Hasegawa started shouting. She was afraid of something. Fuyeda regarded her calmly.
10年以上前の話ですが、知人の妹が失踪しました。私はその件にユーフォリアが絡んでいるのではないかと考えています。だから何でもいい。何か知っていたら教えてもらえませんか？
His friend's sister went missing? This was news to me. Was that his true objective? Hasegawa bit her lip so hard she nearly drew blood. Her hands clenched at her apron.
本当に知りません。無理です。帰ってください。
Staring at the ground, she choked the words out in a shaky voice. Fuyeda started to say something, paused, then changed tack.
長谷川さん、私は弁護士です。もしかしたらあなたの力になれるかもしれません。何か思い出した時には名刺の連絡先へご連絡を。
He must have decided to call it quits, because he shot me a look. I rose to my feet, and when we started walking, I followed after him. When I looked over my shoulder, I saw Hasegawa still standing there, hanging her head. She was so rigid, I have expected her to pass out. Why so short? I have seen that a lot in Animus, so I guess it's a common thing. Maybe in some like cafes or restaurants, I don't know. After that, the sky got darker and the rain came.
降ってきたな。
Fuyeda started walking faster, so I matched my pace to his. As we walked, he looked at me in silence. One look at his tense expression, I knew what he was thinking. It was the same thing I had sensed myself.
つけられている。
He looks so goofy with the hoodie on. Beneath the drone of the rain, I could faintly hear footsteps somewhere behind us. Then Fuida started walking in the opposite direction of the clinic, possibly in an attempt to shake our pursuer. We turned a corner, walked straight, then entered a side street. Meanwhile, the icy rain soaked our hair and clothes. Once the passers-by thinned on the streets, the writhing footsteps suddenly exploded. As Fulleda shouted, a gunshot rang out. Reflexively, I ducked and ran down the street towards the downtown area. Together, we threw ourselves into the hectic crowd. Breathing heavily, I camouflaged myself amongst the bowling umbrellas.
さすがに無関係の人間を巻き込むことはしないだろう。
Feasibility. They have shown that effect multiple times already. You are not paying attention. But disappointed. Fulleda muttered under his breath without turning to look at me.
高里組か。
He ran a hand through his wet hair, tickling his bank's back.
ここから私のマンションが近い。場所を教えるから先に行け。クリニックには戻るな。ディートックへ。
With that, he moved away from me. Moments later, he had disappeared into the crowd. Then I felt my phone buzz in my coat pocket. It was a message from Fulleda containing the GPS location of his condo. So I headed there as per his instructions. I can't remember all, but excuses. The rain rapidly grew heavier, and by the time I arrived, I was soaked from head to toe. Amid all the skyscrapers staffed to the gills with low-income residents, Fulleda's condo was located in a small two-story building. Buildings of this size were reserved for the rich. I stopped just outside the front entrance, beneath the awning? No idea how to read that. Apparently Fulleda wasn't here yet. I somehow doubted that he had gotten himself caught, but then again, our pursuer had a gun. There was a chance he had gotten shot. I stood there, fidgeting restlessly, but before long, a series of rhythmic splashing sounds cut through the rainy grey haze. It was Fulleda. He ran right up to me, gasping for breath. Several strands of hair were messily stuck to his forehead, and his designer coat was darkly soaked.
怪我はないか?
Here we have it again. Oh. Hi there, Mizo.
そっちこそ遅かったな。
巻くのに少し手間取った。
He didn't appear to be injured. Together we passed through the automatic sliding doors and into the foyer. Dripping water onto the polished floor, Fulleda unlocked the door to the elevator lobby. Leave it to rich people to install an elevator in a two-story building. True. We took the elevator to the second floor, walked to the door at the far end of the wall, and stopped. There was no keyhole. Fulleda pulled a keycard from his inner jacket pocket and held it up to the panel beside the door. I heard a beep, then an electronic whirring sound. It would be impossible to pick these state-of-the-art keyless locks. It looks so dark and depressing. I forgot that. I followed him inside, took my shoes off at the door, and walked down the hall. In a blink, my cold body was enveloped by the warmth of the heater. Fulleda paused midway at the door, but gestured for me to continue straight ahead. As instructed, I headed to the door at the end of the hall and walked in. It's so depressing, man. It's so dark. There, I found a spacious living room. The grey and white interior furnishing afforded the place a pristine vibe, with everything precisely in a proper place. almost like it was a stacked showroom. It was exactly the sort of home I expected Fujita to live in, but at the same time it felt a little too perfect. Almost like he was intentionally leaning into the stereotype. As I stood blankly in the living room, he returned carrying a folded bath towel. His hair was no longer slicked back, which changed his aesthetic quite a bit. I had thought he was older than me, but now I wasn't so sure. He saw me standing there and offered me a towel.
これで体を拭いてくれ。
I took it and wrapped it over my head, then I started stripping on the spot. My clothes were so waterlogged I could see a puddle forming at my feet. After I pulled off my coat and shirt and let my pants fall to my ankles, I sensed a gaze and looked up. Fujita was staring at me with a hard look on his face, but when our eyes met, he quickly turned away. I think he was scandalized by my scars. Most people had the same reaction when they laid eyes on my bare body for the first time. As I stood there in my underwear and towed myself off, he started to leave the room.
脱がないのか。
ああ、バスルームで。
バスルーム見られたくないのか。女じゃあるまいし。
I don't know why I find it so funny that they say bathroom in English. I teased him with a smirk. Mostly I just wanted to get a reaction out of him. Someone like me would ordinarily never be on speaking terms with a guy like him. But since I had the opportunity, I wanted to get a look at his thigh-wide tight butt. What? Towa is a menace? Yes, he is. He probably had a skin as perfectly pristine as his condo. He glared at me silently.
別にバスルームへ行きたいならご自由に。
The way he's speaking to him. I snickered. Then, with his eyes narrowed, he wiped off his coat. Next came the sweat jacket. Then he started unbuttoning his starched white shirt. He had taken the bait. He won. I had thought he was too logical for this, but apparently he was a bit of a hothead. Amused, I watched his angry stitches and delight in the slow reveal of his secrets. But once his skin was bare, my eyes widened. The skin I expected to be flawless was in fact riddled with scars. Nearly as many as me, in fact, thought they looked different. While mine were inflicted through cuts, the majority of his looked like burn marks. I thought back to the way he looked at me earlier. I thought he rebuked me, but maybe he realized we weren't so different. After all, it was the same realization I was now having. At the same time, I could feel my heart race. Who could have imagined that someone so far removed from poverty could have a body that looked like mine? In terms of status, he was supposed to be part of the ruling class, but instead he was quite possibly even weirder than I was. How did he get these scars? What sort of life must he have lived? Sadly, I was really curious about him. He was my polar opposite, and yet all bodies were perfect match. Who couldn't be a little curious? Spurred on by the thrill of it, I felt my lips curl into a smile.
なんだ、弁護士なんて大層な仕事してるくせに俺にそっくりだな。あんたも傷が好きなのか、俺みたいに。
Don't think so. He didn't respond, just stared at me from under his shopping bags. His eyes glittered fiercely, but his silence only intrigued me all the more. If I had to guess whether because his scar was a fundamental part of who he was as a person, in which case I really wanted to know. I wanted to paint it, but of course, with a guy like him, I knew it wouldn't be that simple. No way I could break through his impenetrable armor. With a small sigh, I sat down on the luxurious sofa in nothing but my underwear. Then I grabbed the remote off the coffee table and switched the TV on. I hear the door open, so I look over my shoulder and realize Fulleda had disappeared along with my wet clothes. A few minutes later, he reappeared and set something down beside me on the sofa. It was the stuff from my pockets, my phone, cigarettes, and lighter. He stood next to the sofa and stared intently at the TV screen. Thought I knew he wasn't really watching. Likewise, I shift my gaze to the screen and zone out. The background noise filled the empty space between us. The screen was showing what looked like an old suspense film. The protagonist walked up to a decrepit mansion and stepped inside. Through some kind of visual effect, the inside of the mansion was taken seductive scarlet, disconnected with something else in my mind. A room in a mansion somewhere. I always viewed the room from the same position. The silhouette of a woman, my mother, I guess. The biggest shadow of a little girl, my sister. That's right, it's...
Yume.
I was snapped back to reality by the sound of my own voice.
Yume?
He looks so well, with his hair down! I hate so much how he looks with his hair back. It's so ugly. My man looks so old. Massive improvement. Big agree. He looks so well like this. Lawyer Fulleda, it's a crime. That's why there were 2 Fulledas when I made the clock keychain. Because of the 2 designs. I looked over and found Fulleda staring dubiously back at me. This was my first real look at his face, and frankly I almost didn't recognize him. With his glasses off and his hair down, he looked nothing like the businessman I originally met. And I was starting to think we were around the same age after all. I looked at him for a while. He frowned at me. Then I remembered that he had heard me muted to myself. I tried to think of some way to play it off, but changed my mind. Maybe I could tell him about the nightmares I had been having. They were tied to my past, so if I shared them with him, maybe it could lead to something.
最近毎晩のように悪夢を見る。おそらく俺が覚えていない過去の夢だ。夢には母親が出てくる。顔はよく見えないけど多分そうだ。それから妹も。それがいつでどこにいるのかまではわからない。思い出せない。ただ夢の中の俺は子供で恐怖心を抱いてる。何かに怯えてる。目が覚めるとひどく気分が悪くて、じわじわとまるで遅効性の毒に蝕まれてるみたいだ。最近は夢を頻繁に見る。ずっと薬でごまかしてきた。けど、いい加減ノイローゼになりそうだ。
When I said it all out loud, I realized that these things were affecting me a lot more than I thought. Wait, hold on. I scoffed at myself for winning, then looked back at Fulleda for his reaction. His expression was still hard, but he didn't avert his gaze.
必ず真実を暴く。その時に君が知りたがっていることも全てわかるだろう。それまでの辛抱だ。
With that, he left the room. On screen, the male protagonist was fighting off the female villain in a climatic final battle. And with screen cuts through the dramatic music.
真実を暴く。ね。
I snorted. Then I reached out to grab a cigarette, but they were still soaking wet, so I decided against it. As I absently watched the protagonist defeat the villain with a dagger, Fulleda walked back into the room. They are speaking for some reason, please no. His unkept hair and lack of glasses hadn't changed, but now he was wearing different clothes. Once again, he set something down next to me. This time it was a clean white shirt and jeans, all fold up.
君の服は今洗濯している。今日はこれを着てくれ。
どうも。
I didn't actually feel grateful, but I rose from the sofa and got dressed. Because they aren't talking again quite a bit, it's possible that every time I mute, the mic will eventually get squiggly again, so please let me know. The clothes were a little big on me, but not noticeably so. I could smell the soft scent of a detergent I didn't recognize. It made me strange and easy.
まだ雨は止まないようだな。
Fuyeda peeked out through a small gap in the curtains as he spoke. I sat back down on the sofa and watched TV as the credits rolled. Beneath the quiet ending song, I could hear the faint splattering of raindrops. I could picture the rain pouring down in endless sheets outside. Then, those straight lines shifted into the scars on Fuyeda's body. Now I was craving nicotine. If not nicotine, it's like alcohol. Help him, please. Once the rainstorm finally passed and my clothes had a quick spin in the dryer, I decided to head back to the clinic. Today marked the start of the winter holidays, but I have a feeling Taku would be there regardless. Fuyeda was going to call the clinic's number to ask to speak to him, but I stopped him. Taku didn't think highly of Fuyeda, so there was a chance he would outright decline. Besides, I still wasn't ready to talk to him yet. But Fuyeda insisted on tagging along to the clinic, so I reluctantly agreed. On our way out, he handed me a paper bag containing my old clothes. I told him I didn't need a bag, but unfortunately for me, he was insistent about that part too. We could fit Towa like maybe. I enjoy them. Maybe. When we arrived outside the clinic, the lights were on in the waiting room. We walked to the side entrance, and I unlocked the door. From there, we walked down the hall to the exam room. The door was ajar, and light was streaming out from inside. When I opened the door, I found Taku in the middle of giving first aid to Rei. They both looked up in surprise.
Towa.
Then they looked at Fuyeda. His current appearance was nothing like the best spectacle businessman they met previously, so they probably struggled to recognize him.
怪我したのか?
It's so weird to see him with a white shirt. It's so weird.
ええ、そうよ。
As the two of them narrowed their eyes in suspicion, Fuyeda bowed his head.
突然すみません。トワさんと外で偶然お会いしたんですが、急に雨が降ってきたので、私の部屋で雨宿りをしまして。もともと村瀬先生にお話があったので、失礼かとは思ったのですが、直接伺わせていただきました。トワさんが電話はしない方がいいだろうと。
This sprite is everything. Taku and Rei stared back expectantly.
それでお話とは
Taku asked tersely.
マヤさんについて知っていることを聞かせていただけないかと。
Taku's expression twisted bitterly.
お話しできることは何もありません。
でしたら、これから話すことを聞いていてください。
Fuyeda withdrew a weathered memo pad from his jacket pocket and flipped it open.
トワさんのお母様の名前。 源氏名はマヤ、本名桜木ユマ。ユマさんは息子さんトワさんと共に何らかの事故に遭い入院されていますね。
階段から落ちた。俺はその時に記憶を一部失った。
Taco fixed me with a painted look, then lowered his gaze to the floor.
そしてマヤさんはそのまま亡くなられた。こちらで調べて分かったのはこれだけです。村瀬先生はマヤさんの死後トワさんの診察をされていたんですよね。知っていることをお話しいただけませんか？
Taco's brand frowned deeply, but after a long silence, he finally spoke.
トワの父親が誰なのかはご存知かと思いますが、事情が事情ですから、退院後はこちらで引き取って経過を見ていました。俺が知っているのはそれだけです。詳しいことまでは分かりません。
一つお伺いしたいのですが、
Fujita shot me a sided glance, then turned back to Taco.
トワさんは無戸籍だ。だから本名が存在しない。代わりに何と呼ばれていたのか教えていただけませんか？
Name reveal?
それはできない。
Not yet. Taco answered firmly.
むしろなぜ彼をトワと違う名前で呼ぶのですか？その理由は？
Fujita pressed calmly.
それは本人がそれでいいと言ってるからだ。
トワさん、君はなぜ周りに自分をトワと呼ばせているんですか？
別に楽だから。
それなら昔の名前で呼ばれても問題はない。そうですね。
Just then, a strangely restless impulse shot up my spine, making my whole body go numb. No. I could hear a voice in my head. I didn't want anything to do with my real name. As the restlessness swelled, the voice in my head started to scream. My heart pounded faster and faster as my palms began to sweat.
今一度本名を認識することで過去に関する何かを思い出すかもしれない。
Or he may just pass out right there.
それが重要な手がかりへつながる可能性もある。トワさん、いいですね。
He framed it like a question, but the look in his eyes made it clear I didn't have a choice. I started to protest, but the nausea forced me to keep my mouth shut. As I started to feel worse and worse, I closed my eye and breathed heavily. My heart was threatening to explode. My head ached, my chest was tight, I felt dizzy.
村瀬先生、
Fujita turned his intense gaze on Taku.
ねえ、トアが苦しそう。もうやめて。
Roy spoke up hastily.
藤枝さん、あなたは一体何を調べてるんだ？
As Taku glared back, Fujita spoke quietly.
ある真実を明らかにするために動いています。
あなたがいろいろと暴き立てることで誰かが傷つくかもしれない。それでも構わないと。
ええ、この件は思った以上に深い闇の中にある。暴こうとすれば必ずどこかに影響が出るでしょう。
だったらなおさら話すことはできない。
本当にそれでいいとお思いですか？
Fujita stared Taku down. His eyes glinted coldly.
ずっと黙っていることが本当にトワさんのためになると。トワさんは日々悪夢にうなされている。薬を飲んで抑えようとしているようですね。
That jacket is too small. It looks nice. Let him be.
それほどまでの悪夢を見ること自体異常な状況だとは思わないんですか？
Taku groaned and averted his
だ
eyes.
からこそだ。そんな悪夢 過去なんて思い出さない方がいいはずだ。
トワさんは過去を知りたいと言っている。自ら望んでるんです。
それでも
He's not saying I don't care. It's more like, but still. Taco stared at the floor, his hands balled into fists.
先ほど言った通り、過去を思い出すことで周りにも影響が出るかもしれません。ですがそれはトワさんも覚悟の上でしょう。そしてそれは私も同じです。
Taco looked at me bitterly, as if if to confirm whether Fuyeda had the right of it. Ray was looking at me, too, his anxiety palpable. He still looks like shit. I stood there in silence, ending the headache and vertigo.
もう一度お聞きします。あなたがやっていることは本当にトワさんのためになるのですか？せめて名前くらいはあなたの口から真実を伝えてもいいのでは？
Taco shot me an uncertain look. I didn't want to hear my name. But on the other hand, I didn't understand why I felt so strongly about it. What was the harm? Would it change anything? Suddenly, deadly, I looked back at Taku.
言ってくれ。
He grimaced back at me, but reluctantly gave in and looked away.
ハルト、桜木、ハルトだ。
Sakuragi Haruto. Haruto. Everything in my field of vision was like the contents of a paint bucket.
トワ。
とは
The voices around me all sounded muffled. Like a twisting kaleidoscope, bright colors filled my vision. All while something replayed in my mind. A twisted sneer, straits, flying, falling, falling, and falling.
おい、どうした？
トワ。
My vision went black, and the next thing I knew, I was on the floor.
いやいや、連れて行こ
わかったわ。
Taco and Ray positioned themselves on my left and right, then hauling me up. I still couldn't process what was happening. All I could see was colors. My heart pounded hard against my ribcage, intensifying the headache and nausea. But eventually my consciousness grew too heavy to carry, and I let go. So yeah, no wonder why Taco doesn't want Towa to remember, because look in what bad shape it lets him. Like, no wonder he would rather choose to not tell Towa anything at all, because like he can live happy without knowing. He has to go through so many shit. So yeah, he's Taku is aware, but also can't you judge him for not telling Towa when he reacts like this every time he learns anything related to his past? Like, when I opened my eye, I saw a familiar sailing. Slowly, I looked around. I was in my apartment, lying on the bed. There was something cold on my forehead. I reached up to touch it and found a wet washcloth.
トワ。具合はどう？
A worried voice rang out as Reid came into view. Next to him stood Taco and Fuyeda. Then I remembered that I had passed out. 1 minute we were talking, and all of a sudden I started hallucinating. It was because I hear my own name, Sakuragi Haruto. The memory was enough to make me sick.
トワ。倒れてから1時間くらい眠ってたのよ。
1 hour of being unconscious just by listening your name. Like, well, and he just felt like he was protecting Towa, giving him a nice life and saying him, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like what he went for, which honestly I can't judge him for that because 1 hour unconscious just by listening his own name. Like, I'm sure Taco will take care of him just fine. Even if he doesn't tell Towa anything about his past, he will be fine.
嫌な思いをさせちまったな。
Taco looked utterly miserable.
何か思い出したことはないか。
Fulleda less than considered question and him scatting look from Taco.
これがトアの幸せにつながってるとは思えない。
悪いことをしたとは思っています。が、やってみなければわからなかったことでもあります。こればかりは仕方がないでしょう。
あんたは。
I guess this is why I have seen a lot of people within the fandom, mostly Korean and Japanese fans, that don't like Fulleda because he's putting Towa through so much shit. So I guess I understand why they may not like him. But right as Taco snap, a buzzing sound filled the air.
失礼。
Fulleda pulled his cell phone from his jacket pocket and raised it to his ear.
はい。はい。あ、どうしました？え、大丈夫です。え、わかりました。それでは、待ち合わせ場所の情報を今から送ります。はい。よろしくお願いします。
He ended the call and looked at me.
先ほどの女性からだ。マヤさんについて話したいことがあるらしい。会う場所はこちらで用意する。
分かった。
誰からだ？
Taco and Ray looked at the two of us suspiciously.
マヤさんの情報を提供してくれる女性です。今日話を聞きに伺ったんですが。
大丈夫なのか、それは。
どういう意味ですか？
高里組はマヤさんのことを隠したがってる。あんたの動き次第でその女性にも危険が及ぶかもしれない。
その可能性は高いというより、高里組には把握されているかと。
何？
ここに来る前に銃撃を受けました。
銃撃？
怪我？
The blinking effect. Did you just notice it? Please tell me not. Please tell me you did not notice it just now.
ありません。村瀬先生。
No, but it looks worse. I guess the first blinking it was okay. The second one was worse. Fulleda turned his sharp gaze and Taco.
大変申し訳ないのですが、私はあなたのことを完全には信用していません。あなたは高里組とつながっている。
確かに高里組の人とは知り合いだし、患者さんとしてもうちに来るけど。
Ray seemed to sense that something was wrong because he frowned and looked at Taco. Likewise, I saw a questioning look at Fulleda. Where did that came from? He took one look at our confused reactions and said in mild annoyance.
どうやらそこのお二人は知らないようですね。村瀬先生、秘密はあまり多く抱えない方がいい。身を滅ぼしますよ。ただ、私はあなたと高里組の関係には興味がない。あなたが私の邪魔さえしなければ口を挟むつもりはありません。話を戻しますがいいですか？
He looked around the tensely silent room.
話を聞きに行った時、彼女はひどく怯えていました。何かひどいトラウマがあるのか、それとも誰かに脅されて口止めでもされているのか。どちらにしろ本来であればこちらと関わらず知らぬ存ぜぬで通した方が彼女にとっては安全です。なのにすぐに連絡してきたということは状況が変わったか、何か相談したいということでしょう。とにかく向こうから連絡があった以上会わないわけにはいきません。 こちらとしても手がかりを得る機会を逃したくはありませんから。
As Taco commands silently, Fuyeda turned his attention to me.
先ほどの話の続きだ。昔の名前を聞いて何か思い出したか？
いや、
I met her and closed my eye. There was something missing with the kaleidoscope hallucination, but I couldn't remember what. What was that? When I opened my eye, Fuyeda nodded slightly.
すぐに思い出さなくてもいい。思い出すきっかけになっていることを願う。それでは私はそろそろこれで。
He walked to the door, opened it, and left.
危険だな。
そうね。
お前はいいのか？これで。
At Taco's question, I looked up at the ceiling. It was too late to turn back down. Back now. Not after I had come so far.
そうか。だが、俺は。
He faltered and looked away.
ねえタク、さっきの話なんだけど、
Ray paused, summoned his resolve, and continued.
藤枝さんが言ってた高里組とつながりがあるって。
Taku let out a heavy sigh and pursed his lips. Then he looked up with a pained expression on his face.
あんな風に意味深に言われちまったら話さないわけにはいかないな。
So if it wasn't because of that comment, he would have still gave it a secret.
借金があるんだ。高里組に。
開業するときにお金を借りたとか。
それも含めて他にもある。だから俺は不妻者なんだ。新興義から出ることができない。
そうだったのね。
Ray frowned sadly. Takasato debtors were injected with a chip called a webtap and monitored using the surveillance towers placed around Shinkomi. The only way to get it removed was to repay the debt owed. And if you tried to leave Shinkomi by force, they will kill you. Like Ray, I never knew that Taku was one of them.
まあなんだ。高里組に借金があるなんてできれば知られたくはないからな。とはいえ黙っていてすまなかった。
I mean, yeah, because just because we know from other routes doesn't mean the other characters know in that one in specific, so they could explain. He averted his eyes guiltily.
うん、いいの。私の方こそごめんなさい。話してくれてありがとう。
Silently, I looked at him. I wasn't especially surprised to learn that he was in debt with the Satogumi. It could certainly explain why they always sent their guns over here. But I had been avoiding him ever since caught him burning my stuff. He was doing his best to keep me from my past. Setting aside the issue of right and wrong, I could at least understand where he was coming from. After all, the mere sound of my own name had me pass out. Fuyeda was right. This rabbit hole went deeper than I realized.
今日はもう帰るね。
Ray looked up at the clock and smiled wearily.
俺は朝まで1階にいるから何かあったら呼んでくれ。
Taku smiled awkwardly as he spoke.
ちゃんと休んでね。とは。おやすみなさい。
Then they left the room. Now I was alone. I took a deep breath and looked up at the ceiling. Sakuragi Haruto. When I heard it, I felt something inside me shift. But I couldn't put a finger on what. And right now I was tired of thinking. Ignoring the restlessness in my chest, I slowly closed my eye and sat out the world. A new nightmare? More nightmares? No! I guess he's too tired to even dream anything at all. Because my body knew sleep would lead to nightmares, never mind, I found myself waking every 30 minutes. Before I knew it, I had slept into the afternoon of the next day. As I listened attentively to the voice on TV, I learned that today was New Year's Day. But I had no sentimental feeling about the start of a new year. I got out of bed, walked to the fridge, and pulled out a bottle of booze. Some big things. Don't worry about it. We will get there. As I drank the cold alcohol, I started to feel a bit better. Bottle in hand, I sat down on the sofa and lit a cigarette. Now that I thought about it, I hadn't had a smoke in quite a while. I took a long deep drag until I filled my lungs, then slowly exhaled. Is the same ending away? Where is my mouse? Kind of, yeah. Kind of. As I thumbed out on the sofa, drinking and smoking, there came a knock at the door. There are quite a few
よく
days
眠れたか。
we have to get through. No! Give me back the pretty Fulleda. Give it back. Give me casual Fulleda. No! In walked Fulleda. This time he was dressed in a business suit and wearing his glasses. He looked at me and frowned.
もう飲んでいるのか。
悪いか。
I exhaled, crashed my cigarette in the ashtray, then possibly chucked the booth out loud as I could. It's like a kid, like... Why are you doing that? Oh yeah? Does it harder?
酒でも飲まないとやってられないんだよ。
好きにすればいい。
He glanced around the dimly lit room, then walked to the window and raised the blinds all the way. Normally, I never opened the blinds. The bright midday sun streamed into the room, making me squint. Then he opened the window, and the breeze rolled in.
何やってる？
The first time we see the windows open. The first time.
この部屋は空気がこもっていて暗い。換気をした方がいい。
は？
I wanted to protest, but it was so brilliantly bright, I flopped face down on the sofa. I could feel the wind ruffling my hair as it completed its circuit around the room.
くそ。
He doesn't like fresh air, I guess.
吸血鬼か何かなのか君は。あ、イメージと合っているとは思うが。
It sounded like a joke, but he said it with a perfectly straight face. Then he glanced at his wristwatch.
昨日
I raised my head a few inches off the sofa and spoke slowly.
撃たれたことをタクにわざわざ言った理由は、タクが高里組をけしかけたとでも思ってるのか。
まさかそこまでは思っていない。
じゃあなんでだ？
His stoic eyes bored into me through the lens of his glasses.
彼は高里組とつながっている。連中の容赦のなさを今一度伝えておいた方がいいと思っただけだ。
高里組と縁を切れって。
それが最も良い選択だが、あとは本人次第だ。口で言うほど簡単ではないからな。
He looked back at his watch.
もうすぐ待ち合わせの時間だ。出かける準備をしてくれ。
わざわざ迎えに来たのかよ。
ああ、昨日はかなり体調が悪そうだったからな。それに君ならば寝過ごす可能性も十分にあるだろう。
I couldn't really argue with that. He's aware. With a sigh, I pushed myself up into a sitting position. My body felt heavy, and this blinding sunlight was sapping my energy. It's so funny. Maybe I was some. It's so funny.
早く準備をしろ。
分かってるよ。
Just then I heard the wail of an ambulance. It steadily grew louder until it was right outside. I rose from the sofa, walked to the window, and peeked out. 2 paramedics hopped out of the ambulance and carrying a loaded stretcher in the direction of our clinic. The victim appeared to be female. An ominous feeling rose up in my chest. I shot a look at Fujieda. He frowned as he followed my gaze outside.
今の救急車は
クリニックに運ばれた。担架に女が乗ってた。
女性が
Then Taku's words slipped in my head.
高里組はマヤさんのことを隠したがってる。あんたの動き次第でその女性にも危険が及ぶかもしれない。
Fujieda must have come to the same conclusion. He headed straight for the door, and I followed suit. Downstairs, in the waiting room, I spotted Taku rushing down the hall. Then he saw us and walked over.
急患だ。女性が撃たれた。
知り合いかもしれない。
At this, his face stiffened.
第二処置室だ。
We followed after Taku and his flooding lab coat all the way to the elevators. We found Rain standing inside the medical ward on the second floor.
どうは藤枝さんもどうしたの？タクから連絡があって急いで来たんだけど。
今運ばれてきた患者が知り合いかもしれない。
え？
念のために確認させてもらいたい。
ええ、どうぞ。
Overwhelmed by Fujida's urgency, Rain nodded meekly. Together, Fujida and I approached the patient's bed. Sure enough, it was Hasegawa. She looked to be unconscious. Her clothes were stained red in the shoulder.
長谷川さん。
At this, Taku looked over.
知り合いか。
今日話を聞くことになっていた女性です。
Anger filled Taku's eyes, and his smoke thrusted.
救急隊員が目撃者から聞いた話によると、撃たれて倒れたらしい。銃弾は右肩を貫通している。命に別状はないが、犯人についてはおそらくあんたが一番よく分かってるんだろうな。
He spoke in a flat, emotionless voice as he walked.
外で待っています。
Fujeda muttered quietly, with a pointed look in my direction. Together we stepped out of the room. An hour later.
終わったぞ。話がしたいそうだ。
The door opened and a surly looking Taku walked out. Fujeda and I walked into the medical ward and approached Hasegawa's bed. Her shoulder was now wrapped in white bandages. Her complexion was still pale, but her eyes were now open faintly. Slowly, weakly, she turned to look at Fujeda.
長谷川さん。話はできますか？もし辛いようなら無理はしないでください。
Hasegawa nodded slightly, eyes unfocused.
大丈夫です。
She waited like he could scarcely breathe.
無理に話さない方が。
いいえ、本当に大丈夫です。話をさせてください。
Her chapped lips parted as he struggled to speak.
私を撃ったのは高里組です。今回は運よく助かったけれど、次は本当に殺されるかもしれない。だからその前に話しておきたいことがあるんです。
Nice way to interrupt the scene with the broom of a card. Everyone in the room waited for her to continue.
私は高里組に返せないほどの借金を作ってしまいました。それでシエロで働くことになったんです。私が勤務するお店にマヤさんがいました。マヤさんは組長のお気に入りということで、周りからも一目置かれていました。私は普通に働いていただけだったんですが、ある日なぜか榊さんから声がかかったんです。マヤさんのサポートをしろと。借金は帳消しにすると言われました。ただしこれから先どんなことがあったとしても絶対に他言無用だと、そうきつく言われて、最初は何が何だか分かりませんでした。でも借金がなくなるならと思って、それでマヤさんのサポートをすることになったんです。でも想像すらしていませんでした。まさかそれが誰にも言えなくて、ずっと苦しかった。罪悪感が消えなくて押しつぶされそうでした。
She paused to let out a sucky sob.
何があったんですか？
At this, she averted her eyes hesitantly.
ユーフォリアは一見普通の会員制クラブで通っていました。でも実はその裏で公にできない身分の人たちを対象に特殊な趣味を扱っていたんです。
特殊な趣味？
マヤさんは客の本当の幸せを演出するための店なんだと言っていました。でも実際は客の歪んだ欲望を晴らすための狂った店でした。
歪んだ欲望って？
ありとあらゆる要望に応えるための準備もされていました。未成年もいましたし、顧客は政治家、高級官僚、海外からのゲスト、そういった方々でした。
そこであなたは何を？
私はマヤさんのサポートといってもただの雑用係だったので、その直接的な行為には一切関わっていません。それでもあの時榊さんの誘いに簡単に乗ってしまったことを今でも後悔しています。とても言葉にできないような光景や、本当にいろいろなことがあって、とても。
Whoops, sorry. She fluttered, her expression twisted in pain. The longer she talked, the sicker I started to feel. I had no sentimental attachment to Maya, so this reversion didn't impact me much. And yet, at the same time, I felt a strange weight deep in my chest, suffocating me. Not only that, but Hasegawa's description of my mother seemed to be at odds with everything I have heard about her thus far. The image I had of her didn't match his nefarious business tycoon. Did Takasatogumi force her into it? Curious about Fujida's reaction, I looked over, and quickly realized something was amiss. His usual composure was gone, replaced with a deeply frowned brown and tightly pursed lips. I have never seen him look so distressed.
そこには少年や少女もいたのか？
He asked in a strangled voice.
はい。
柚木芽衣という名前の少女知らないか？
名前まではちょっと。
Hasegawa shook her head guiltily. Yuzuki Mei. Was that the name of his friend's missing sister? As the blood drained from his face, Fujita pulled his old memo pad from his coat pocket. Then he withdrew a photograph tag between the pages and held it up for Hasegawa to see. Her eyes promptly widened.
知っているのか。
この子いました。覚えてます。他の子たちが日に日に生気を失っていく中でずっと強い意志を持ち続けていたというか、そんな風に私には見えたので。
Fuyeda's fingers trembled as he held the photo.
それで彼女は。
マヤさんがとても気に入っていた男の子がいて、彼女はその子といつも一緒にいました。二人とも綺麗な子だったのでセットで人気があったというか。でも二人で逃げ出そうとしたみたいで連れ戻されているところを見ました。
それから。
それから男の子の方は店で見たんですけど、女の子は見かけなくなりました。
Fuyeda pulled out his cell phone and showed something to
これ
Hasegawa.
に見覚えは。
She gazed at the screen and was trying to remember.
このぬいぐるみ見たことがあります。その女の子が持っていたぬいぐるみに似ているような気がします。
そうか。
At this, Fuyeda lowered the phone as if in defeat. What did she say just now? A stuffed toy? I swallowed my saliva as my condition sharply worsened. Fuyeda must have showed Hasegawa a photo of the bunny toy, which proved that he was the one who took it from my apartment.
マヤさんのお店のことは高里組がずっと隠し続けています。マヤさんが亡くなった後、榊さんに店のことは絶対に誰にも言うなと念を押されました。私もずっと高里組に監視されていて、心安らぐ日なんてありませんでした。昨日あなたがバイト先へ来た時もマヤさんの話をするつもりはなくて、でも
Her hand was etched deeply with anguish.
初めて第三者からマヤさんについて聞かれて当時のことを思い返したら、私は自分が思っている以上に後悔しているということに気がついたんです。たくさんの子供たちが物のように扱われて傷つけられて、それを私は黙って見ていた。自分の身に何が起こるかわからないから怖くて言いなりになっていた。あの店のことを暴いてほしいとは言いません。相手は高里組ですから。でも独りよがりだと分かっていても、せめて誰かに話したくて、話したところで許されるとも思っていませんし、懺悔にすらならないことも分かっています。それでも一人で抱えていくにはあまりにも辛かった。
She let out a muffled sob. As her shoulders shook, Taku quietly reached out to her.
少し休んだ方がいい。
So much clicking now. Just you wait. He and Ray watched over her with mournful looks on their faces. Meanwhile, all emotion had vanished from Fuyeda's expression. That brief glimpse of distress had disappeared behind a blank stare. A blind one too pale to pass as stoic.
今日はもうここまでにしよう。
Taku spoke sharply, then approached Fuyeda and lowered his voice.
あんた分かってるのか。これは見せしめだ。高里組は彼女を簡単に殺すことができる。なのにこうしてわざと生かしてここへ運び込ませた理由、あんたも分かってるはずだ。
but Fujita didn't answer. Instead, he headed for the door. I started to follow after him. However,
おい
Towa!
my body failed to cooperate, and my vision tilted sideways. Taquan raid touched over and got me before I fell.
やだ、Towa。すごい汗。
レイ、長谷川さんを見ていてくれ。俺はトアを部屋へ連れて行く。
わかった。
Taku put my arm around his shoulder and started walking slowly. So the gaze of my mind, I could see a flickering image of a little girl. Nightmare time. She looked at me and smiled. We sat face to face in the red room. She bent from ear to ear as she took my hand and both of hers. Her hand was so warm, it nearly made me smile too. She was wearing a pretty dress, and she was very happy about it. Likewise, I was wearing fancy clothes too. We matched, she seemed to say. Just then, a red fissure shot through my vision. Everything in my sight was splattered with red paint. When it cleared away, the girl was sobbing. Someone had grabbed her by the hand and was leading her away from me. There, in the empty space, she left behind. Lay a forgotten plush toy. Like, the nightmares are also aesthetically pleasing somehow. They are also pretty in their own way. It's like they are taking all the resources they have to make the game about the artist being like very artsy, and I appreciate that. I awoke from the nightmares slick with sweat. Slowly, I skip. Hold on. Slowly, I sat up. For once, I actually remember what had happened. After all, it matched what Hasegawa had told us. Deep down, I have a feeling I could dream about it. I look around the quiet room and attempt to wake up. The damp smell threw my attention to the window. I could hear a trickling sound beyond the closet blinds. Apparently, it was raining. Then I looked up at the clock ticking soundlessly on the dark wall. I felt like I had slept for days, but in reality, not much time had passed. I rose from the sofa and left the room without even pulling my coat on. I could only hope the rain would wash away this miserable mood. As I passed by the second floor on the way down the stairs, I heard sounds coming from the medical ward. I figured Taku was probably treating Hasegawa, so I kept walking. Arriving at the first floor, I left the building through the front entrance. Sheets of rain fell from the dark, stagnant sky, soaking my whole body in an instant. My waterlogged clothes grew heavy and clung to my skin while my hair stuck to my face, but I didn't care. I set off down the empty street. Just started raining here. Let's go, it's fading. I think it's still raining here too. Let's go. As I wandered aimlessly, I spotted the park up ahead. The sight of the abandoned playground equipped was almost tragic in a way. Equipment. I wandered into the park, crossing the muddy earth. the stray cat going back to his place. I was headed to the concrete tunnel just up ahead. Whether I hit myself in there, Fuyeda will come find me. I don't know why. But this is so funny that the way in which he wants to somehow meet with Fuyeda, he's just like, let's go to the tunnel in the park. Such a cat, yep. It had happened twice now, and on both occasions it was raining. When I reached the tunnel entrance, I crouched down. I thought it was empty, but in fact someone was curled up inside. He was wearing a business... I don't know why this is very funny to me. Both of them know where to go. It's so funny! Okay. And his weird coat laid level up next to him. I just think the thought of both of them being like, okay, we need to meet with each other. Where to go? The tunnels and the park. It was Fuyeda. He sensed my presence and looked up at me. His polished glasses were dotted with raindrops, and his usually tidy hair was sticking to his forehead. His expression was utterly zombified. He is very unwell. Fuyeda looked at me, and his pale lips parted. The translation. It's implying it's his sister. Who? The little girl? His voice was so quiet, I wasn't sure he was even talking to me. Estrella said little sister. He did. He did. I don't know why he didn't put that word in the translation. He was looking at me, but he wasn't seeing me. He seemed to be talking to himself. Out of nowhere, he looked at me. I landed on the wet ground, flat on my back. The impact made me squeeze my eyes shut. And when I opened it, Fuyeda twisted grimace was right in front of me. His eyes were filled with seething rage, the likes of which I have never seen. Instantly, it occurred to me that this was the first time I have seen him express his emotions. He punched me hard in the face. Then a second time, then a third. My vision swam. After a few more punches, he stopped and groped down at me. His eyes glinted darkly as the rain poured down on us.
お前たちみたいな最低の奴らがいるから妹はお前たちのせいで
It hurts so much to go through this scene, knowing everything. It hurts so much. Running, he put both hands around my neck. As he grasped my windpipe, I gasped for air. He wasn't playing around. This wasn't a sex thing. He was intentionally trying to kill me. His grip was tight, and with his weight pinning me down, I had no hope of escape. So my only option was just to die. Immediately, a sudden pointed death was exactly the kind of death I deserved. With that thought, I slowly closed my eye. My oxygen levels depleted farther and farther, and I gasped for breath. But as I was waiting to lose consciousness, the chokehold loosened. Confused, I opened my eye. Fuya stared down at me mournfully. Was that rainwater streaming down his face, or...
お前を殺したところで妹は戻ってこない。だから謝れ。お前たちの食い物になった犠牲者に謝れよ。
He choked the words out, his lips trembling. But I didn't respond. I just gazed back at him. The silence seemed to piss him off. When hot fury flared up in his eyes.
なあ、どうすればお前はもっと苦しむ。何をすればいい。
As I maintained my silence, he pulled his hands away from my neck and knit in close.
殺すなって。お前にとっちゃ生ぬるいだろ。どうすればもっと痛めつけられるんだ。お前よ。
Groaning, he put his hand on my clothes. Then, out of nowhere, he hit my shirt up, exposing my chest. So what did this? I think it's more like if he is the son of the woman that owned the place in which his sister died. He probably was just another witness of what happened, and it wasn't involved somehow. I think that is his thought process. Like he was just another rich guy over there. And you know, the kind of stuff he does doesn't help around to negate anything, so yeah. Fuya reached out at me in contempt, then grabbed me by the shoulder and flipped me into my stomach. Water splashed as my face hit the mat. Then he ripped off my pants and underwear and took my ass into the air. I'm pretty sure I don't need to censor this one. I have checked, but just to be sure. So this is your idea of hurting me, huh? Something hot press against... There we stop. Yeah. Maybe I should mute too. Yeah, this... maybe... This is what is going on. Basically. Control C. Do you want a face from here? I guess you can have a face from here. You can have that one. Wait. Hold on. There is one. There. This was my favorite feeling in the world. It's so the fact that his favorite feeling in the world is being treated like absolute trash. It's so sad. He was making a huge mistake. I was used to being treated like this, like a tool. In fact, it was what I wanted. I don't know about that. No, was going to shatter my spirit. It only made, yeah. While this is happening, he's going back to when he was punching him at the same time. Ah, it's so sad. Towa! I think Fuyeda is done. He recognized his grip on my hips and I collapsed to the ground. I watched the raindrops hit the ground as I listened to the rhythmed drumming. Was Fuyeda satisfied now? Was that all it took? I think it's done. As my fasting mind melts in the rain, I slowly closed my eye. Look at that. It changed color. Something was buzzing in my ear, like the flapping wind of a bee. For a moment, I was annoyed, but then I realized it was my cell phone vibrating. Let's go, new profile. Is the chat not working still? No! There isn't going to be like any trends that you have that as a profile picture. Sad. Nope, no proof. Well, I see it, that's the proof. And the proof is also the one extra picture added to your folder. Let's go. By the time I finally opened my eye, it had stopped. Slowly, I looked around. I was inside the concrete tunnel. The cold, hard rain had let up. I'm pretty sure he was out when everything happened. So after Fuyeda was done and Towa passed out, Fuyeda must have put Towa back into the tunnel. That's plain. Yeah. Flexing my numb finger, I pulled my phone out of the back pockets of my pants. I don't know. My phone was wet, but it didn't look damaged. On screen, I could see multiple missed calls and messages. I tapped on the message from Taku on the top. Apparently, Fuyeda had arranged for Hasegawa to be transferred to a hospital back on the mainland. If I had to guess, it was his way of repaying her. After all, not even Takasa Togumi could get to her there. At the end of the message, he told me to be careful of dangers on the streets and to let him know when I got home. Be careful of the dangers on the streets? Beating back a laugh, I lit my phone back in my pants pocket. What are you doing? Yeah. When I tried to sit up, I felt a sharp pain in my ass that stopped me in my tracks. Yeah, that was not the most pleasant way of that happening. Then I slowly started to remember what had happened. That line? But last I could remember I was lying on the ground. So how I did get inside on this tunnel? Did Fuyeda drag me in here? Why would he do that? It was such an enigma. Maybe even he didn't know what he wanted. But why would he lose his composure over someone else's little sister? According to Hasegawa, the little girl was offered as a service at Maya's establishment. And since I was her son, Fuyeda vented his hatred on me instead. Maybe he thought I was on the scheme. But while the two of us were blood-related, I wasn't involved in her shady dealings whatsoever. The only thing I felt upon learning about her business was mild surprise. I wasn't shocked or saddened, I just accepted it. I leaned against the carved concrete and let out a heavy sigh. My clothes were still cold and damp. clinging to my skin and stealing all my body heat. Water dripped from my head, tormenting me. Like this sentence, it'd be like that. I gazed out at the night sky. Now that the rain had stopped, the clouds had cleared. Any light movement made my body ache, so I took my time, slowly easing myself out of the tunnel. I glanced around but couldn't see Fuyeda anywhere. My body started to tremble in the cold. I wanted a cigarette. Unfortunately, my pack was on the coffee table back at home. I stumbled down the street in the direction of the clinic. The first floor was dark and deserted. Is my profile not Sigmag? Okay, I think it's back now. I think it should be back to normal now. Anyways, I shouldn't be laughing because it's a bad thing, but also it's unprompted. It's like it's out of nowhere. So yeah. But I wasn't traumatized by it in the least. Quite the opposite. Hold on. As the warm water streamed down, I thought back over the encounter. When Fuyeda laid his emotions bare, I saw his smoke sway for the first time. His pale, nearly translucent smoke gained a tinge of scarlet and started rippling like waves. Before then, I thought he was unshakable, like some kind of robot. Why is this music playing right now? But on second thought, maybe not. Maybe he just protected himself with tight armor on daily basis. He's not going to... Right? Please don't. Please don't. I never met anyone like him all in my life. I thought back to that time at his condo when I saw his scarred body. A body not entirely unlike my own. Similar, yet different. It filled me with a strange impulse. Towa? Time to mute and to censor! I censor just in time. There is not a CG, it's just the text. He is doing exactly what you think he's doing. Thinking about Fuyeda. Yeah, sure, yeah. He's exactly doing that. Killing himself and getting ready for a nice fresh sleep. Exactly that. Okay, please. After my shower, I sat down on the sofa and switched off the TV. Now that I got the out of my system, I was feeling a bit better. I grabbed my cigarette and lit one up. As I have listened to the drone of the TV, I exhale grey smoke like it was any other day. I awoke to the sound of my phone buzzing. At some point, I had thoughts of on the sofa, not nightmares this time, however. I pick up my phone, check the screen, and answer the call.
Towa, いる？起きて！大変！
He looks like shit. Real loud panicked voice made me wince. I was too sleepy for this shit.
メッセージも電話もしたけど全然返信がないんだもん。でも出てくれてよかった。ねえ、テレビ見て。今すぐ。
I slowly posed myself and looked over at the TV, which was still on. Then I grabbed the remote and I started flipping through the channels until I landed on a news program. Eh. An explosion at Fuyeda's law office? My mind snapped away, and I focused on the TV.
Ah.
連絡してみた方がいいんじゃないかしら。藤枝さんに。
あいつじゃない。
どうしてわかるの？
こんな手に引っかかるようなやつじゃないだろ。
Fuyeda was fully aware that Takasato Umi had it out for him. He would never let his guard down. If it turned out he kicked the bucket just like that, I would probably burst out laughing. Meanwhile, I watched the smoke rise from the office building on screen. And the news teller. After the phone call with Ray, I called Sakaki. There you have it! You just needed to wait a tiny bit.
Ah, 新年早々どうした？
聞きたいことがある。
なんだ？
藤枝法律事務所のことだ。
He paused in contemplation.
とは、俺はな、今うちにいるんだよ。かみさんとガキも一緒にな。正月くらいはさすがにのんびり過ごしたいと思ってよ。なもんで、その話は事務所でしねえか。そうだな。30分後にどうだ？
わかった。
じゃあ、後でな。
And so the brief phone call ended. Next, I tried calling Fuyeda, but all I got was a busy signal. Still, I refused to believe that he was dead. Maybe it was my gut instinct, or maybe it was just being stubborn, hard to say. All I knew for sure was that the Sakatogumi was behind it, and I wanted Sakaki to explain himself. On TV, the news kept covering the Fuyeda law office bombing over and over. As I listened to the newscaster, I got ready and left the apartment.
よ、今年もよろしくな。
Oddly enough, Sakaki was sitting on the sofa in the lobby when I arrived at the Takasato headquarters. A single Takasato grant stood in the corner of the room like a statue. Sakaki looked up at me and jerked his chin at the other sofa across from him. I sat down and met his eye level.
で、聞きたいのは藤枝法律事務所についてだな。
ああ。
Sakaki reached up and rubbed his neck for a moment, then looked up at me.
俺のせいだと思ってんのか。まあ、あの先生は最近信用できねえんじゃねえかと思ったからよ。
He then denied, which was basically confirming that he gave the order.
俺たちもそれなりに汚いことをやってきてる。今さら掘り返されたくねえもんってな、山のようにあるんでな。もちろんあの先生に忠告はしたんだが、それでもこそこそと嗅ぎ回ってたんでクビにしたんだ。なのに全然懲りてねえからよ。少々荒っぽいやり方にはなるが、ここは少しばかり急を据えてやるしかねえと、まあこう思ったわけだ。わかるだろ。
By Todd Love, you mean setting a bomb at his office, please?
何も殺そうとしたわけじゃねえ。殺しただけだ。
藤枝が調べてたのはマヤのことだろ。
I asked bluntly. His expression vanished and his smoke darkened.
腹を痛めて産んでくれた自分の母親をそうやって呼び捨てにするもんじゃねえ。それが本名じゃなかったとしてもな。お前が母親に興味を持つのはいいが、藤枝に使われてたってことに気づいた方がいい。利用されてたんだぞ。
Sorry if you hear noises in the background. I heard severely suppressed anger in his voice and smirk.
過去形か。殺すつもりはなかったんだよな。
Santo That was my ma. That was Mama Sneak, not Papa Sneak.
身元不明の遺体が出たんだろ。
I guess you can put it like that.
お前、藤枝が本当はどういう人間か知ってるか？知らないよな。
That was Papa Sneak. He let out a steady breath.
あの男はな、今でこそ弁護士だなんて言って威張ってやがるが、昔はホストやってたんだよ。金のためなら男だろうが女だろうが、それこそ年齢も性別も関係なく寝たらしい。そうやってのし上がって生きてきたんだ。やり方としては間違っちゃいねえが、一部の同業者や客からはえらく嫌われてたらしい。陰で談笑なんて呼ばれてよ。だがあるホストクラブのオーナーやってる女に気に入られてな、愛人になって金をもらいながら勉強して資格を取って検察官になったんだよ。その後どういうわけだかすぐに検察を辞めて弁護士になったらしいが、あいつは金と権力の亡者だ。マヤのことを嗅ぎ回ってるのも高里組の弱みを握って死ぬまでたかってやろうと考えてたんだろうよ。わかったか？お前は騙されて利用されてたんだ。
A faint light filled his eyes as he looked at me. I stared back at him.
ご忠告どうも。
He gazed at me a bit longer, but eventually slumped his shoulders and sighed heavily.
それじゃもういいか。神さんとガキをうちで待たせてるんだ。お前も新年早々そんなに生きり立ってないで休め。
Having returned to his usual self, Sakaki rose to his feet and patted me on the shoulder. Hold on. Connecting and reconnecting the mic just in case. A few words just. Thanks, CMP, even though I don't think this is the most comfy stream ever. Why aren't the villains salami? Salami? Having returned to his usual set, Sakaki rose to his feet and patted me on the shoulder. He ordered the man in the corner to look up after him, then left the building. Apparently, that guy was a bodyguard. Was I a threat to him now? Close enough. I guess. Marrying over our conversation, I rose from the sofa and headed for the door. So Fourier used to be a male escort. Frankly, I never would have guessed. Turned out he was more experienced with guys than I realized. That is what he gets out of the whole conversation. Emotional outburst aside, I never expected an outright guy like him to even think of doing that. Especially since I had assumed he was straight. But now I had a reason to think otherwise.
Towa-san.
That's what he gets out of all of this. Right as I was leaving, someone flagged me down. It was Eiji, standing near the door.
今榊さんと話してるって聞いたので待ってました。
ああ、俺も聞きたいことがあった。
He blinked at me, puzzled.
聞きたいこと？なんでしょう？
藤枝の事務所の爆破はお前か？
ああ。
His gaze wandered pensively and then he nodded.
はい、やったのは僕です。でも爆発範囲は極力抑えるようにしました。
He's a supernatural entity. I like that. They have started uploading a translation of Clean Dishes onto YouTube, and they have translated so far the first part. Eiji is also on Clean Dishes. Motherfuckers everywhere.
命令したのは榊か？
ええ、どうも榊さんは藤枝先生にご退場願いたいみたいで。
Also, I could suggest you check also the translation, because Zero, who is like the Towa of that game, may low-key be worse than Towa. Here's that casually.
僕もやりたくてやったわけじゃないんですけど、一応高里組の人間なんで。でも安心してください。爆発で亡くなったのは藤枝先生じゃないです。
Why is that a recommendation? Because you get more info in general about how Shinkomi works, I guess. He winked briefly. So Fuyeda was alive. I didn't see it coming, but it was nice to have confirmation. More importantly, however, I just stared at Eii's eyes.
協力するって話は嘘だったのか？
嘘じゃないですよ。トワさんのためだったらいくらでも力を貸します。何か力になれることないですか？
That's not a positive. I mean, in a sense, it is, because I kind of want to find out why he's like that. That's the whole point of the game, I would assume, kind of. In a similar sense to this game, it's the mostly whole point is knowing why Towa is like this. I hope Clint is in a similar way the same, finding out why Zero is like that. Faced with his jovial smile, I felt silent. Most likely he was serious about lending a hand, but not if it meant going against the Takasato Umi. Between me and the gun, he would choose the gun. I was better off not putting too much stock on him then. With that mindset, I look at him.
頼みがある。
Kill my plan. Yes, pretty much.
はい、なんでしょう。
警察が本格的な調査を始める前に藤枝の事務所を調べたい。できるか？
それってつまり今すぐにでも入りたいってことですよね。
He put a hand to his chin and murmured to himself, then pulled out his phone and started tapping.
深夜なら比較的入りやすいと思うんですが、どうでしょう？
構わない。
そうしたら今夜の26時深夜2時から1時間だけ入れるようにしておきます。
助かる。
いえいえ。
He looked up a note, then went right back to his phone again. Apparently he was busy. Regardless of how much faith I put in Eiji, I was fully convinced that Fuyeda was alive. Thus, I decided to sneak into his empty office. I figured I might be able to find whatever intel he had gathered then. Granted, we were working together, but only for now. There was no trust between us. Quite the opposite, considered he tried to rape and or kill me. And while I wasn't upset about it, I didn't feel entitled to... I feel entitled to a little revenge of my own. So I left Eiji to his business and went on my own way. I went on my way. Next, I headed to Fuyeda's law office. Naturally, since it was a crime scene, I couldn't walk straight into the building. A few cops were standing at the entrance, which was cordoned off, while a crowd of reporters and onlookers gathered nearby. About 4 stories up, the wall of the building had been burned back, with cracks in all of the windows. He wasn't this bad before. He was not this bad before starting to remember. He was still bad though. I walked around to the back alley and checked the rear entrance. Then, after I escorted the place out, I went home. I must be domesticated. No, you can't say that. No. Where was Fuyeda now? What was he doing? Changes were high that the Tagasato Gumi now knew about what condo building where we took shelter. Chances were that the Tagasato Gumi now knew about the condo building where we took shelter from the rain. But generally speaking, wealthy people probably rented multiple apartments at once in case of any danger. Perhaps Fuyeda was one of them. There was still quite a bit of time before the sunset. I lit a cigarette and contemplated killing time in town somewhere before heading back to my apartment. Okay, I think we are getting close. Yeah, we are getting close to the general bad ending. I don't know, like the kind of game over thing. I don't know if we will get there today because people is being noisy at home, and usually when they start being noisy it gets noisier and noisier with the pass of time. So so maybe it won't be today. Muras's clinic. Noisier, yeah. People start talking more and more and they tend to forget that I'm streaming.
Towa.
It's not the first time. Noisier. Let me be. Towa, were you out and about?
そうだ。
Yeah. Talk.
なあ、
I saw on the news that Fuyeda-san's office got bombed. Yeah. They found a corpse too. Is Fuyeda-san alive? Most likely. I heard the body wasn't his. I see. But someone won't end up dead in his place. Oh, and I mentioned this before, but we are sending Hasegawa-san to a different hospital. Her condition is stable. This is just a precaution. Invest extreme earnings into one of those massive metal safety doors, soundproofing. I think the biggest problem is just the walls. The house is not that big. It's an apartment. It's not that big, so yeah.
気をつけろよ。
Look, you really gotta be careful. I mean it. Positive.
ポジティブに。ああ、
I know. Who knows what kind of trouble you will end up in. Might sound weird coming from a guy who has lived here all these years, but distance really gone to hell.
そうだな。
Someday I hope it can change for the better. That's not happening. Maybe not. That reminds me, wasn't there a time you came all the way to the clinic but it didn't come inside? You saw? I just happened to catch a sight of you. Thought maybe you were avoiding me. Well, whatever, see you. I guess this is why we need to come here in the previous exploration part. Because we need this dialogue in order to get the good ending. Move. Yonagawa Cafe. The expressions are so random. I mean,
どうぞ
at most you just have to check every place and that's it. It's not that much of a pain. Write this way to the cash register, please. That will be 800 yen. So if you mess up during route, you are locked into the bad ending. Pretty much. And you have to replay from the last 7 points that you have. That's what happened to me. It's not very nice, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you don't explore it fully. 800 yen exactly. Thank you very much. Talk?
No.
Hasegawa-san used to work here, right? Yes. Did you hear that she got shot? I am aware of it, yes.
その
Did you know Hasegawa, or... She was treated at my friend's clinic. I see. Negative.
ネガティブに。
It wasn't fatal. Oh, good to hear. In that case, perhaps he will be able to return to work. Probably. Well then, that's a relief.
そうか。
Well, she's has always been somewhat aloof. She has been a very hard worker. So if she could return to the cafe, that would be very helpful for us.
そうか。
Gotcha. I sincerely apologize for holding you up. Please come by again soon. Move. And I guess Inada again? Or maybe Garashi? Inada. Either. You again? Yeah. I hear there was a bombing at Fuyeda's law office in District C. Apparently it caused a ton of damage. Several injured, one dead. What weird is, only the law office floor was damaged. Clearly this is the work of a professional.
そうだな
As for the founded lawyer Fuyeda, people say he's gifted, but there are a lot of nasty rumors about him, more than you would expect. They say he hates... he takes cases most lawyers would refuse, and that he will do anything to win a case. Supposedly, he's written it by the Takasato Gumi. Maybe he pissed off the wrong person, and that's why his office went kaboom. These days, following the death of the leader, the Takasato Gumi has grown more and more fragile? I don't know. Similar to the war that happened a while back, hopefully history doesn't repeat itself. If the city shuts down more districts, it won't last much longer. Shinkomi was originally built on a landfill, so kind of a flimsy foundation. That's why the roads are so twisty, and why sinkholes keep happening. The place is falling apart, especially District A. There are so many sinkholes, it's actively dangerous. I can't believe people go there to punch each other.
ちょっと待って
Have I ever told you why I came to this town? Mr. Broccoli! I came to Shinkomi on a mission. I refuse to get left in the dust. Broccoli home story. You are not going to tell
そう
us?
なのか。
You came here on a mission? Something like that. Anything else? I wondered if anyone found my New Year's money. I am sorry, Grandma. We know he has family. If you hear that, that's that's from the storm. Nothing else?
そうなのか。
Yeah, I think that's it. Move. City ruins. Has non-persistent sound. Yeah. And I have the window closed. If I have it open, it will have been way stronger.
あ、トワだ。
Mayo!
おう
Either. So it is. What is AJ? How could I know? Besides, think about it. He is probably the guy who got Mr. Sloyer's office, right?
誰？
If there is a bomb, AJ is behind it. Granted, it was on Sakaki-san's order, but still, I wonder if he made it out alive. Supposedly he did, but someone else died in his place.
ほう
Oh yeah? Well, it was just meant as a threat anyway. Killing the lawyer would just be an added bonus. For sure. Did you see your pants when you saw the news? What kind of question is that?
ネガティブ。いや、
Are you even doing the game, man? Go away. He's kind of relevant overall, though. Not really. That lawyer dude was a real piece of work. He's your favorite character. Sure he is. So, did you need anything to Towa? Nah, you're busy with work right now? Technically no, but we were asked to pinch in with something on the side.
それは
By who? Sakaki? No, someone even scarier. Like who?
いいね。
Say Towa gonna go there together?
よし。
Are they talking about Madarame? I will pass. Figures, I knew you would say that.
元の。
Anyway, we gotta get going. See you around
お
Towa.
いじゃん。トワ。
Here's the noise of a slow damage. I can't unsee. No. They kind of have a similar vibe overall. No. No. Tajimas. It explained.
あんたか。
Oh, it's you. Talk.
どうも。
Should I leave or something?
いや。
No, you're always welcome to come here. Cool, I wanted to ask you something. What is it, boy?
な、
Have you ever heard of a business called Euphoria? Feel like I might have, but can't remember. What about it? Don't worry about it. God grief, 5 minutes into the new year and there's already so much going on. So on the news that some place got bombed. Yeah. My grandkid's always wandering around town. I kept telling him to stay safe, but he's a hopeless case, I tell ya. You have a grandson? I do walks around wearing baggy clothes and a headband like a big man, but on the inside he's just a kid. He's the grandma of Inada. He's Inada's grandma. We got the lore. Tajimas positive.
ポジティブ。
Hopefully he won't get into any trouble. Tell me about it and what do you think about him? He came to visit for New Year, so I gave him some spending money. Then he tells me he lost it on the street somewhere. This confirmed it.
切れたよ。
So I wasn't expecting it to just vanish into thin air. And now it's raining very strongly. How on earth is this kid going to survive on his own?
それで？
Gonna buy something or what? Let's see. This and that. 250 yen.
これは
Keep the change. Came back some time. Why is that not? No, yes, money going to be a very bad plotline. I don't think so, but I just find it funny. Also, when I saw this for the first time, I was like so surprised, I guess. I was not expecting to learn anything at all from Inada, so the fact that every character more or less has some kind of relevancy, it's pretty neat. Move. Hakoita District C. She has the same posture! True. True. Oh, Ray? What's Towa? You scared me. Okay, about Fuyedahan's office. Do you think he's alive? Supposedly... Oh no, the internet. Oh no. Oh no. Is the connection right? Can you guys hear me? Is it fine? Is it working? I think I will probably have to end the stream soon because the connection is unstable, and with the storm right now, I don't know how bad it may get. So temporary sorry works now. Okay. Supposedly the body they found wasn't his. Oh really, that's a relief, honestly. Why could anyone bomb the place? Talk. Were you headed somewhere?
別に
Nowhere specific. Well, stay away from the deathmatch area, you hear me? It's a real mess over there, even during the daytime. It's a mess?
あのね
Yeah. You don't go. Oh my god, it's raining so hard. Should I try to open the window and let's see if you guys can hear? Hold on. Can you hear the rain? Can you hear it? It's so strong. Yeah, so don't go there under any circumstances. Under any circumstance. Positive.
ポジティブに
Yeah, leave that on Princess Leave Ambience. No, this stream is not about that. Got
そう
it.
ね
Good. I just feel so restless. I wish I could distract myself with something happy and fun. Maybe go to a restaurant with my friends, eat a bunch of good food.
とは
I wish I had just one more chance.
そうか
I go to sleep right now? No. Is something wrong? No, I'm fine.
な
I saw you driving your motorcycle down Highway Street a while back. Oh, you did? Well, you know me, always rain my home.
どういうことだ
It was on Christmas Day, the same day you were too sick to go to the party. Well, I was feeling sick, but I also had something urgent came up, so I just couldn't make it. And that's why we need to check everything to trigger that line from to happen, basically. Anyway, I gotta go now.
あ
Alright. Somehow, the rain is getting stronger. Okay. Is anything left on Tagimas? Why is it still not green? It's getting more and more strong. Okay, Towa's Atelier. And yes. What's from Rainwalk? No, I'm not like Towa. Back at my apartment, I sat down on the sofa without bothering to take my coat off. And he said he would make arrangements for me to get in around 2 a.m. As I listened to the non-stop news coverage of the bombing incident, I led away my time by smoking a cigarette. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear the noise, because it's so loud. It's so loud. Grab a coffee and people watch. It's nice. I have gone on rainy walks a few times, but there aren't that many places here in which you can just grab a drink and go off. there are not that many takeaways places over here, so... At 2 a.m. that night, I was once again standing outside the Fuyeda Laos office building. The cops reporters and onlookers from earlier were nowhere to be seen, replaced with a few cars parked outside. Probably Takasato watchdogs. Taking care not to be seen, I slip around to the back alley. Then I walk up to the rear entrance and twist the handle. It opened without incident. Perhaps I had AJ to thank for that. What a storm! Oh my god! I hurried inside, and once I shut the door, I was fully engulfed in darkness. I pulled my phone out of my coat pocket and activated the flashlight function. With the floor illuminated, I made my way forward. As I progressed down the hall, I spotted a staircase on the right-hand side. I climbed the stairs to the 4th floor, where the smell of charred lingered. At the end of the short hallway was a door. Thankfully, it wasn't one of those high-tech, unpickable locks, so I let myself in. I passed by the restaurants and the office kitchenette, then stopped at the next door and twisted the handle. It wasn't locked, so it opened easily. The burnt smell intensified. Oh my god, the rain! But I never would have guessed from the hallway just how wrecked the inside of this room turned out to be. Next one is raining, yeah. It's kind of scary to think how good AG is with bombs, to the fact that the rest of the building is intact. It's just this specific room. It's so scary to think. The bond really did a number on this place. The ceiling was scorched black and the walls were cracked. Taking care not to trip over the debris on the floor, I walked around the room. After I finished a full lap around the floor, I stepped into what appears to be Fuyeda's private office. God, the desk has been knocked as cute, I don't know. On it, I could see an engraved nameplate that read Fuyeda Ryu. Trampling over the papers that carved the floor, I used my cell phone light to scan the room. I lived through the documents, setting the file from the shelf and rummaged through the desk drawers, but came up empty-handed. I was keeping an eye out for the plush toy that Fuyeda took from me, but couldn't find that either. Right as I contemplated calling it a night, oh my god. However, I spotted a familiar object peeking out from beneath the papers on the floor. It was a memo pad, and it looked a lot like the one I have seen Fuyeda carrying. You could tell? Yeah! I picked it up and flipped through it, but his notes were so condensed, they may as well have been written in Morse code. That's so nice. A few minutes ago. Don't worry about the storm. As long as there is electricity, I don't care. I started to close it, then noticed the photo tag inside. It was an old yellowish photo of the missing girl smiling happily. I felt like I recognized her from somewhere. Out of nowhere, a gliding migraine exploded in my skull. I couldn't bear to stand. With a grunt, I hit my knees. My head throbbed in time with my heartbeat, stabbing me over and over until I broke out into a cold sweat. What was that? For a second, I thought I saw someone's smile flash up in my mind. Who was that? I couldn't remember. Then, for the first time in several days, I hear that same voice in my head. Don't remember. Don't dig any deeper. Clemency, I look back at the photo. Was this his friend's sister? I was sure I have seen her before. And yet I couldn't place where or when. I slid the photo back into the memo pad and stuffed it into my coat pocket. Clenching my temple, I slowly started walking. This was not the ideal place to pass out. Grinding my teeth as the migraine worsened, I headed down the stairs to the back entrance of the building. Once I finally made it outside, I carefully avoided detection and took a long detour back to the clinic. Back at my place, I collapsed face down on the sofa without even bothering to take my coat off. My headache was slowly fading, and my sweat-soaked clothes were now cold and unpleasant. I'm going to find the framing book. I wonder what is it actually. I roll over into my bag and close my eye. The girl from the photo rushed to the forefront of my mind. Who was she? I didn't have an answer, not I could shake the urgent restlessness that plagued me. We are getting there. In the end, I didn't get a wink of sleep that night. As a result, I avoided the nightmares, but I still didn't feel great. The morning sunlight streamed in through the latch in the blinds. I sat up, had a smoke, then drank some booze out of the fridge. Back on the sofa, I switched the TV on and went out for a while. Then I hear the... hold up. Whoa, hold on. Then I hear my phone buzzing. It's... the drops up are so like big that I can hear the impact to like the window. Oh my god. It's foreign, yeah. I rose to my feet and retrieved it from inside my coat pocket. It was a call from an unknown number. My first reaction was to ignore it, but I answered. The voice was indeed familiar.
あんなので死ぬような間抜けじゃないだろう。
そうか。
携帯の番号が違うのは
違う携帯からかけている。爆発が起こる前、事務所に一人でいたんだが、何者かに襲われたんだ。
襲われた。
ああ、向こうも一人だったから、もみ合いになって、その時に携帯電話を落とした。それからすぐにビルを出たんだが、直後に爆発が起きた。犠牲になったのは、その時に私を襲撃した男だ。
And now there is a dog in the street. Let's go!
今はどこにいる？
言えない。この会話も聞かれているかもしれない。
By someone he probably meant the Takasato Gumi.
ずっと考えていたことなんだが、私は君を犯人だと、あるいは犯人の片棒を担いでいるのではないかと思っている。だが、同時に君が全ての謎を解く鍵だとも思っている。君が何度も見るという悪夢も引っかかる。やはり、君が思い出せば、何もかも解決するのではないかと。
He paused.
先日のことを謝るつもりはない。
In other words, what happened at the park?
別に謝ってもらいたいなんて思ってない。
そうか。
Silence fell between us.
調査はこのまま続けようと思っている。だが、大事なものを落としてしまった。
I can hear the drops, not only at the window, but also the roof. Oh my god. Hold on, what? Wait. What happened? Hold on. Something... Okay. I got scared. Something changed on my setup and I was worried the connection fell down again. I think it's fine. ¿Está granizando? Creo que no. Creo que es agua. Creo que es solo agua. Something of critical importance. I had an inkling of what that might be.
多分それは俺が持ってる。
どういうことだ。
事務所に行ったんだよ、昨日の夜。
何をしに。
火事場泥棒。その時にあんたの大事なものを拾った。
君は。
What followed was an instant silence. He didn't sound angry, just confused.
感謝しろよ。
This guy, I swear.
で、どこにいる？あんたの居場所がわからなきゃ、こっちも動けない。
It's getting worse, so I think I'm going to end this scene and end it for today because I not only have to worry about people talking at home, but I also have to worry about the super strong rain noises. So yeah, I sent him thinking about it on the other end of the line.
分かったわ。君の携帯電話へ位置情報と部屋の番号を送る。
犯人だと疑ってる割に、そういうところは緩いんだな。
確かに君のことは疑っている。だが、君が高里組の根回しに素直に応じる人間とも思えない。榊に顎で使われるのは性に合わないんじゃないか。
With that, he hung up. I admit, he sure had me glad. A moment later, I got his location info and designated meetup time, 6 p.m. I thought it might be the same condo where we waited out the rainstorm, but apparently not. Well, looks like he's alive after all. Sure enough, he was still willing to team up with me. Even after what he did to me and the threat he received from the Takasatogumi, he didn't hesitate to call me up. Sakaki was right, he was committed to his objective. Sakaki also claimed that Fuyeda was using me, but frankly, we were both using each other. We didn't have a choice. Our relationship was strictly business, nothing personal. And I found I kind of like it. Oh no, the scene is still going. 6 p.m. rolled around, and I headed out to the specified location. The place was your run-of-the-mill 15-store skyscraper in the area, densely packed with high-rise housing. Nowhere near as fancy as the last... Oh, Jesus Christ! The rain... The rain is not like it's getting close. If I didn't have my window closed, it will pour inside my room. It's that bad. Nowhere near as fancy as the last condo, but on the other hand, no one would suspect that Fuyeda would come here. Sorry for that. You know, yeah, I think I'm going to end it here because it's getting worse. So, let me save. And we will continue next time. I'm really sorry for the very hectic episode today. Hopefully next time it won't be this bad. Don't let the water get you. I will be fine. Anyways, thanks for coming, guys. Hopefully next time we will get at least the kind of game over ending thingy. We aren't that far away, but I don't think we are going to get it today with how noisy everything is now. So happy to be back to snow damage. Yeah, we are getting close to all the answers we want. Okay, bye bye. See you in 2 days on the purple platform that can't be named. Bye bye.